Okay, let's get started. It is November 21, 2024, a Thursday. And in this video, I'm going to reveal 5 more images that I processed. I don't know if you saw one of my prior videos where I said I had developed quite a bit of a backlog. Well, I've worked that queue down. I do have a few projects remaining that I need to process. But I just want to say in general, I do this hobby for enjoyment. And the last thing I want to do is pressure myself or think that I'm in competition with anyone. I do this to create images that I enjoy looking at, and how I process them may not be how you would have processed them. Because once we get into the processing, we're really in a more of an artistic realm. I tend to like reds, so you'll notice that in many of my images. But let's get started again. Here's what I have left in the queue. I actually have the Bubble Nebula up, taken with the Red Cat 51. It's up on Astrobin, but I'm not really happy with it. I want to process it again, so that's why it's in the work in process queue. The Cone Nebula, shot with my Edge HD8. Interesting one because it's the first time. Well, check that. It's not the Cone Nebula. It's the Fish Head Nebula, IC1795, which I shot with my Edge HD8, and at the time I had my ASI-294 Pro camera on, and it's the first time out of any of my 23 projects or whatever, many with the 294 that I ever had an issue calibrating out the amp glow. And I'm sure it has something to do with my flats and calibration frames. So I'll dig into that a little bit. And then there's the Leo triplet. Again, the galaxies are so small. So I don't know if I want to put the time into processing it. I probably will. But this is, I've been working the backlog down just by sitting my butt in the seat here and going to work using the tools and the skills that I have to this point in time in PixInsight. So, okay, let's get rid of that and we'll go into the first image. And this is the Witch Head Nebula, NGC1909. This is becoming one of my favorite images, even though it has many flaws. And I have 8 hours and 16 minutes shooting primarily red and green. So interesting. I probably also shot blue. 5. Yeah, I had to shoot some blue, but I'm looking at the acquisition details. So I'm going to go back and double check this. But what I like about this image is these galaxies. Galaxies up here, galaxy down there, galaxy in there. And if we go into this monitor over here, and we can kind of see there's some names for these elliptical type galaxies, I think, here, that IC398, NGC1720, NGC1726, 1752. So I thought that was kind of cool. Again, I've got some flaws here. Biggest flaw is probably not enough time on this target with 8 hours. I am now a believer, and now that the 2 telescopes are going to go into a remote observatory, I'm going to double my thinking of how much time I need to collect on a target, and I'll find some quantitative way as I'm collecting the data to help me make that decision. Up until this point in time, I was just kind of winging it. Okay, I think this is about enough. You know, I want to get a couple other targets on this trip or whatever. But I'm going to build a more quantitative approach to making a determination when I've got enough data. But I really like this image, but clearly it's noisy, and I needed to get more data independent of any challenges I might have with my knowledge in PixInsight and how I process this image. And then let's go on to the next one. Okay, where are you at? This one I like. So Messier 27, got a couple other names. But I only have 7 hours on this target. This is taken with my Edge HD8. One of the rare times that my stars were relatively round because I did a good collimation. Now that this scope is going into a remote observatory, it's not going to get knocked around as much in my van traveling out to sites and everything. So hopefully I get a really good collimation once it gets installed down there, and then that collimation stays kind of good for a while. I love this image, but again, it suffers in my mind from not enough time. Since I'm not changing the configuration on my Edge HD8, I will capture more time on this target and add that into the integration. But I kind of think it's a cool object, the Dumbbell Nebula. This one here is interesting. My thoughts on it are, you could see how I like red, and I tried to do some contrast by not making it deep red. When I did the Pelican before, let's see if I can go over here and show that. Where are you, Pelican? We'll go over to this screen here. I really made it just, red. And also, that was at a time when I wasn't shooting RGB stars, and therefore I wasn't separating the stars off of the image and then re-stretching them when I wanted to combine the stars back in this image here. On this image here, and I don't know if you saw my Cygnus Loop video, I'm tending to, when I do the stretch, I use it as an opportunity to keep the stars smaller and also reduce the volume of stars that I'm going to rescreen into the image, because I think sometimes these stars, in my view, cover up some of the detail that you might like to expose. But definitely down in this lower area here, more time on this target would really help, in my view. And so really with just okay, I had 10 hours on this target. I would like to see this target at maybe 20 hours of data collection. The thing is that I shot this with my Redcat 51 with the 294mm, and I have now replaced the 294mm with the ASI-2600mm. So, I'll start from scratch, and I will collect 20 hours on this target and do it again, and then do a comparison between the two targets. Even though the field of view is going to be a little bit different, that comparison should allow me to see if I can produce a less noisy image, and can I bring some additional detail into this image as well. I mean, there's ways for me to overcook it in PixInsight, but I didn't want to do that. Local histogram equalization and then MMT are ways to work with the sharpening a bit, but I try not to over sharpen that. Okay, so let's go on to our next one here. This one here is NGC7822, and in this area here is what's called the Teddy Bear Nebula. Only 6.5 hours on this. It really needed more. and some people refer to this as the question mark nebula. Down below, if I had a larger field of view, there's a nebulous area there that kind of looks like a question, a period underneath a kind of like a question mark. Uh, Again, not enough time to pull out detail. It's very, very noisy. Um, and it's clearly in my mind now, based upon my Cygnus loop and my spaghetti nebula image, where I went over 25 hours on each one, that I really just need to focus more on collecting more data. And at the same time, I need to continue and improve my skills to get the most out of PixInsight to help reduce some of the issues that can be present in the image that like these halos here around these stars and everything. I want to take a look at more on why they're present. What did I do wrong? Should they be present, and those type of things. Let's see, we got one more here, I think. Okay, yeah, Seagull Nebula. Clearly at 5 hours and 40 minutes, and I at the time was not shooting RGB stars. I think this was back when I was using my ASI Air. No. What did I use here? No, if I was using Nina. But at the time, when I started in the beginning, I thought, trying to, I'm trying to learn PixInsight. I started with Astro Pixel processor, and then I went on to PixInsight, and I didn't want to put the effort in to shoot RGB stars and then have to learn how to take those stars off and then rescreen them later on and all that. But so this data was collected a while ago, and it's just been languishing in my work in process queue. But, kind of like it. But clearly I need more. It's noisy. I need more data. And this will be a target I'll shoot with the ASI2600mm on my Red Cat 51 once it comes around again, and once I get the Red Cat into the Starfront observatories outside of Brady, Texas. So that's about it. Again, I think part of the reason I wasn't processing these, and I said that, is that I didn't feel I would have enough data, and so why invest the time? But now I have invested the time, and clearly I can have a more factual or idea of, yeah, I needed more time on several of these images. So again, I'm adjusting my process on how much data to collect. I don't have it well defined yet, and I don't have a quantitative approach yet on making that determination of when is enough enough. But that's something I'll work through once my two scopes get down into the remote observatory, and then I can start thinking about things like that. So it should be fun. But all right, I just wanted to bring you up to date on where we're at with my imaging. 4 left in the queue, 2 I may not process. We'll see. If I do process them, I'll do a short video to reveal them. Other than that, I'm ready to start collecting more data. A couple of things I need to do before the scopes go down to Starfront, and I'll be working on that in the next couple of weeks. And other than that, if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully wherever you are in the world, when you want to go out and image, you're going to have some clear skies to do it. So, all right, see you next time.